Morning! Welcome everybody to the NFT morning. Today is Tuesday, September 17th. We are super excited to be there today. John, talking. I'm with my friend Rem for this new NFT morning. How are you, Rem?
Hello, John. How are you? It's
I'm
so good to be here today.
it's kind of now, as you can see, we are speaking with our super strong French accent English this morning, because we have the chance, Remy and myself, to have one guest plus one guest bonus, basically. So our guest today is Ana Maria Caballero. How are you, Ana?
Bonjour,
Are you...
bonjour, bonjour, je suis très bien. Merci.
Bonjour,
Bonjour,
bonjour.
Ana Maria.
Bonjour. That's all I know how to say in French, so please don't think that I speak it.
Okay, we continue in French because you have a lovely accent.
Now, thank you for being there, Ana Maria. I think we had a chance to. I think you came last time you came at the NFT morning. I think it was when we introduced Verse, if I'm not wrong. So it was a while ago, maybe almost 2 years ago or something like this, maybe. So I'm super happy to have you because you've been doing a lot of things the last few months, the last few years. And right now you have two main news, happening, two main activities. One is this wine sale happening right now on Maker's Place. Basically, we will come back on this topic, but what you're doing is selling generative, can you say it, you maybe summarize it, the idea of the concept of what you're doing on Maker's Place?
Yes. Well, first of all, the most important, I think, is that it's a charitable collection. And several artists, 9 artists, created 48 different bottles. And they all go to Fundación Almagil, which benefits emerging artists in the south of Spain, where they're really active trying to get digital art mainstreamed, like we all are, but they're really focused on the south of Spain in Malaga. And we recently had an event at the Carmen Thyssen Museum. And so my 48 bottle collection is all handwritten. So I'm leaning into the concept of analog generativity. And the wine is, of course, Spanish, from Bodegas Almagil, which is really the sponsor of so much that is happening in the south of Spain in terms of digital art.
I see. And so the space is happening right, the sale is happening right now, and we will come back to this topic. And so that this is the, we'll talk about it. And in the same time, you have also another activity that will happen also in Spain. Sorry,
it's soon in space. So one day she will send poems into space, I'm sure.
I am in the space right now, but it's gonna happen in space in Spain. Why I say space? In Spain, in Barcelona, and I think it will start this week also, and for a month at Lode Gallery. And this is why also we have the chance to be with Horace Vétier right now, because you are it's a duo show, I would say, basically, with you and Paul, right? Am I right? Maybe Paul, you can.
Actually, Ana Maria is too humble. It's actually her show, and she invited me to create a dialogue, and I'm very honored to be with her. And it's gonna be wonderful.
Okay, so just to reintroduce, we'll talk about both actualities, but just to talk about both of you, I think your common point, your starting point, let me know if I'm wrong, is poesy. In a way, both of you, I think, both of you are kind of Swiss knives. You are doing a lot of things. I think we had the chance to have you, Paul. You are like a really strong AI researcher, doing a lot of also physical work, I would say, and making the link, between digital, physical, with kind of organic, vegetal ways of representing nature. This is the way I see it. And you are also, yeah, you're also an entrepreneur, and also, you know, we had a chance to have the BEM Builder company that you are co-founded,
Yes.
and you know, specialize in the metaverse. How to complete this introduction, Ores?
That's perfect. That's perfect. And also maybe to share what we have a lot in common with Ana. So Ana is one of the co-founder of the Verse, as you know, and I was happy to join this gallery practically at the opening, and it's been a beautiful ride. And the Verse has a very special way to show poetry and do communication. And I think that with the work of Ana, something we have maybe in common is the idea of, I don't know, Ana, if we can say introspection, but like how can we talk about feelings somehow at the age of technology, AI generation, content generation, etc. So in my case, I do it with dreams a lot, as you know, and it was a Bright Moment series that now is part of Lumen Prize. And Ana, she will explain what she does, but that's how I think we connect, particularly with poetry and writing.
Awesome. And so, Anna, you are, yeah, and you know some artists, of course. Your universe. I think, you know, your starting point is. Would you say that your starting point is poesy, Ana Maria?
Yes, and you know, I really love the French term poésie. I think it encompasses much more sometimes than even poetry, because it just has like all these sort of Saturnial rings that circulate it. You know, the term poésie, and it's tentacular. So I'm a fan of that term, and Load Gallery reached out and said, you know, we want to do something in terms of poetry, and we'd love to have you. We'd love to have you exhibited, and perhaps you can recommend a few artists. And of course, I recommended a few, and Paul Ores was immediately their first choice, and I was so happy because honestly, I love Ores as a person and as an artist. I do think our work is very much, you know, it faces different directions, but from the same place. And you know, we're both really into seeking ways of transmitting human emotion. And so Load Gallery, you know, because it was a little bit of a last minute show, to be honest, and I really encourage anyone in Barcelona or going through Barcelona to visit them, because what they've set up is really spectacular displays. I mean, some of the best I've seen. The owner is actually French,
Okay.
of Load Gallery, and he's in the tech industry. So it's you know, no expenses spared, exhibition space, and we were encouraged and invited to show existing work, even with a non-commercial purpose, which I really, really respect from the gallery, and then to have some objects, of course, and some pieces for sale. So we were able to each craft a bit of a solo show, because how the gallery works, the tech of the gallery allows each artist to have a solo exhibition for, let's say, an hour, and then everything changes, and then the next artist comes on. So it'll be alternating between Ores and myself, but we'll be taking over the gallery with our work at a time, which means that we really are able to craft a narrative. And so Ores was able to have several pieces from different series in the show, and I was also able to have my choreographic work, my analog generative series, and of course paperwork, 2 artist-owned editions of paperwork, which I will be offering at the gallery, and I'm also going to be bringing into physical sculptures for the very first time. I've been working with a studio in Colombia, South America, where I'm from, for many, many months, to develop these sculptures. So I'm going to be offering 2 artist-owned physical sculptures.
You know, I think I missed this point about physical sculptures.
Yeah.
Is it related? Because, okay, maybe just to start, you know, maybe you can talk a bit more about the paperwork, because it's one of your, you know, we can see here, for example, you know, the paperwork 87 and here the 97. Maybe you can explain a bit more, you know, for people who don't know, what is this paperwork collection?
Sure. So Paperwork is my Bright Moments collection from Buenos Aires. And it's along with Ores, his Travail des Rêves, were both in the Lumen finalist category for still image. And what Paperwork does...
Wait. What? She's saying things like this, just, chilling some crazy information like, oh, by the way, we've been like nominated by Lumen's Prize. This is crazy, Come on.
Yes, and Ana Maria probably won't tell it, but like she achieved a breakthrough and a record, because for the first time in the history of Lumen Prize, she's nominated 3 times. One also with Alex Historic. But Anna, you should say it. Like it's crazy. So in the same category, she has 3 projects, because you can apply for series or projects. And you have like thousands and thousands of applicants, but it shows the quality of her work.
Wow, 3 times! So you're the first artist to be nominated 3 times at the Lumen Prize, right, Anna?
Yes, it doesn't mean that, we'll see what happens in October when the results are in, but for now I'm nominated, which is an honor, of course. I'm really, really excited about it.
Yeah, but it's already crazy. Being nominated is already a huge recognition of, for people, I don't know, people following us, Lumen Prize is basically, I would say it's like Oscars for digital artists, right? Now, how would you describe it?
No, I don't know if it's an Oscar, but often we know a little bit that sometimes art prizes are a little bit rigged. But in this case, it's very different, because you have so many applicants, and also the selection committee is so wide and encompasses a lot of domains in art that it's really a huge recognition, and it's really beautiful. It also shows that the scene is developing. The Lumen Prize is not new, but now you see new categories opening every year, and many artists that started their work only a few years ago that entering as finalists. So that's a really huge source of hope. And we were talking a little bit about it with John before entering the stream. And what is beautiful also is that even if right now the market is a little bit tough for everybody, we see a lot of artists building. Ana Maria is one of them. We talked about Hermine Bourdin also, that's working with Operator at the Opera in Paris. Like, so many amazing things are happening, and it feels like sometimes what was happening in Paris in the 50s, with Giacometti talking with Jean-Paul Sartre, and like many domains mixing together. So sometimes people describe our space as an echo chamber, like we're alone and only caring about ourselves, but it's actually not true. We are creating links with the real world, and it's really beautiful.
It's crazy. And actually, it's really good to see, I'm checking right now, and I realize, everybody talked about it. I think that they announced the winners 2 or 3 days ago, I believe, the finalists. And
Yes.
It's really good to see a lot of, name of people that we are following in the NFT space. I see, Ana Maria, 1, 2, 3. Seeing also other people like Amy Cusano that were
Amazing.
to have also, and Ores Vetier, hey, congrats, bro, to be also there for your work, Le Travail des Rêves. I think we had the chance to. I think it was also Bright Moment work, right? If I'm not.
Yes. It was a Bright Moment series, and with a physical activation that happened in February for only 2 hours, and it was a beautiful
Awesome.
moment.
And we can see also Emily Xi and much more. It's actually it's amazing to see that, as you're mentioning, sometimes we feel like we are just doing our stuff with like a few thousand people, and that's it. But having this kind of prizes and recognition, I think it's a big move for our space. this and Trump interview by Farrokh.
Yes,
That's
but like for instance, yesterday I think there was an article that was published by Alex Historic in the Art newspaper. The Art newspaper is one of the most important publication in art, in traditional art, I would say. And he was talking about many projects. Again, the one from Hermine, but also the one by Ana Maria that is shown at the Ashmolean Museum, if I'm not mistaken. And it's so great that now the scene, like traditional scene, is permeated with these projects. And you can see also big curators like Hans Ulrich Obrist or others, like Jérôme Sens and many others. They're getting interested in this scene because this is partly where the innovation happened and like what comes after contemporary art. It's a huge question I always ask myself. What is the new role of the artist at the age of AI? I have some ideas, but I think the role of the artist is about to drastically change. So they want to follow this.
I understand. And I think also, maybe I will talk about, this is something I will say every day, but this is the feeling I have right now, being in the eye of the storm, basically.
Mhm.
And, when you are in the eye of the storm, sometimes you feel like it's super calm, but actually everything is moving around. And, sometimes we're saying, yeah, oh, it's hard. Yeah, there's no money. Yeah, that's, it's a struggle and it's not happening and we're not going to make it. But on the other hand, it's increasingly happening every day. And so, I think it's super interesting. But let's come back to this exhibition because, Paul, I think you will have to leave in like 8 minutes. And so I would like to focus also on your works. So as you mentioned, Ana Maria and paperwork. So paperwork was exhibited. You minted this initially for Bright Moment, Buenos Aires. And what is the idea behind the paperwork project?
So in short, what paperwork is about is materializing lived experience via the digital form. Sometimes we think that poesy or the digital or ephemeral substances, but I actually think that they're quite material, and it's really challenging the notion of materiality. I really do think, John and Remy, that the moments that we have inside ourselves, the artworks, the fragments of what we've read that keep coming back inside our heads are really what make us tick. And so I performed my poetry, all over in 2023. And at the end of these readings, I asked participants to write down one word on a piece of paper that I provided. And I gathered all these slips of paper, all these moments of distilled experience with verse, and used them to actuate digital paper sculptures from latent space, resulting in the sculptures. And each sculpture is rooted in a word. So, for example, the one that you have here on screen is transmute. And that is a piece of paper that was written by somebody at a reading somewhere, in 2023, that has now become this sculpture. And it's represented visually, but also I think quite materially. So the theory, the concept really behind paperwork is that we can anchor moments of our life via the digital form, which is something that I think all of us here are very passionate about showing the materiality and the transcendence of the digital. And so these sculptures are going to be presented as physical sculptures for the first time here at Load.
So you generated, I think this is what we love also with what you guys are doing, but also you with Verse Collective and with everything you've been doing, starting from what is starting from the poetry material and playing with sometimes words are the raw material of the artwork. Sometimes it's always playing and reinterpreting your starting point, that is poetry, and I think it's super nice. But what I understand now is basically, what is it like on top of getting a digital work, we can get also the physical sculpture, right?
Yes, so I did a test. I don't have the final ones with me, but I have a test, for example, of a sculpture that I did of another work. Here you go. So this is a smaller one,
Oh.
and it's going to be like this for Transmute and for Momento, which again are two artist-owned editions that I was gifted really by Bright Moments when we minted the collection last November.
Wow, but so it's not, yeah, it's what is it like so it's 3D printed sculpture?
It's 3D printed by a very specialized studio in Colombia that actually focuses on manufacturing custom vehicles. So
Okay.
they really know how to work with metal. It's aluminum and PLA.
Okay, so it's not a paper. At the beginning, I thought it was a paper sculpture. Yeah.
No,
Well,
that's the craft that they're
okay. Wow. Okay. Super interesting. And so you've been. So you have. I see. We can see two sculpture basically. So this one that is like the 97, and this one also. You have also a physical sculpture for this one, right?
Yeah, those two will have physical sculptures presented at the gallery.
Awesome. Oh, that's amazing. So it's happening. Okay, before yeah, it's super amazing. So physically you will be able to see also the sculpture in the gallery, right?
Exactly. Yes, those will be arriving at the gallery in October. Like I said, the exhibition was a bit last minute, so we've
Yeah, of
all
course.
just been very flexible with timing. Fortunately,
Yeah.
Paul, thank you, merci beaucoup for having accepted. In August, where people are really trying to rest.
And
Um,
no, that's amazing. And
yeah.
thank you, Paul, for being there this morning, because it's the same. I asked him to come very last minute, like this morning, 5 minutes before, say, hey, you want to say hi? And he said, yeah, I have a class to
Always,
teach.
always here for you
Yes.
guys. Of
And
course.
And
so
for your beautiful work. I mean, look at these. These are amazing, amazing works that are actually, they first debuted in Paris.
Yes.
So there is a very Parisian French through line through everything. And these were part of Poème Subject, which was presented with Avant Galerie and Librairie Métamorphose 2 years ago, an exhibition curated by the Verse, but very much in partnership with Paul.
Yes, I mean, it's very important to create bridges between artists, in my opinion, and that's also what I call adventures. The idea of the fact that the verse is like a gallery without a space in a way, except on the blockchain and online. And sometimes to touch new audiences, we need to crystallize exhibitions in geographies, and this is what we did in Paris. And the visitors were both like blockchain aficionados, but also very traditional collectors. Ana Maria talked about Librairie Métamorphose. It was created by the head of the library of Pierre Berger, who had a lot of books in his collection. So yeah, it's creating bridges through ages, through practices, and this is what we love doing. Yes. So maybe I can say a few words about what I'm showing. So it's very
yeah,
much in
please.
resonance with Ana Maria. The idea is that I'm showing a few poems from a series that was also shown on the Verse Gallery. And basically, I don't really work in series, like everything I do is like part of telling a story. So I create, as you say, like some kind of imaginary nature and plants. The dreams, in a way, that I represent also with another custom algorithm trained on my images, is kind of the background of these plants, where we could see them. And globally, it tells a story, and this story is infused by personal ideas, but also by the books I'm reading. And as I could tell in like previous interviews, I remember with NFT Morning, I'm very much obsessed by a few books, and one of them is Mount Analog, a book by René Daumal, who's one of the surrealist writers that fascinates me. And the Mount Analog talks about an imaginary mountain that we have to find, climb, and on this mountain there are a lot of interesting events. And if you look at the works at Lode, this is a little bit what we see. We see some animals, strange atmospheric phenomena, mountains. And also, you know, like this book ends with a comma. It's not finished book because René Daumal died when writing it. So it's very mysterious. And that's what also I love sometimes, you know, in France, you know, like that when you dress, for instance, you shouldn't be perfect. You should be perfect. And then you remove one thing. And this is French style, you see, like, so it's a little bit sometimes what I do with art, you know, I try to come up with something and then I remove what is, in my opinion, not necessary. So yeah, to make it short, this is an installation that I try to be, to make enveloping and also to resonate with what Ana Maria says also in her work. Maybe just to say personally before leaving what I love about the work of Ana Maria personally, it's that, well, I'm a man, so I'm not in the brain of a woman. And what is super interesting in the work of Ana Maria is that, like, in the poetry, you really have a glimpse of what it means to be like a woman, not only a woman, but like woman artist, and like the struggle that can happen in your brain, you know. And it's fascinating because you can draw parallels with our own struggles, and at the same time there is a lot of light and humor and possibilities that are offered. And I think as an artist it's super beautiful because some artists only describe the problems of our world, but it seems that Ana Maria proposes also like hypotheses of future and aesthetics, an ecosystem. So you can only be responsive to this. So yeah, it's. I just wanted to thank her again and thank you guys for giving me the opportunity. But yeah, if you happen to be in Barcelona, please come to L'Haute Gallery. And otherwise, I'm sure we'll make some very nice shots because, again, the screens are great and it can be photographed, I guess. So we'll try to make some very good shots of the installation.
I'll be there taking lots of photos of your beautiful work, Paul. Thank you again. I'm so happy to be part of this exhibition with you.
Thank you. Have a nice day, guys.
Thank you very much, Paul, and see you very soon. And yeah, we you know, you can now enjoy your class. Take care.
Thank you. Bye bye.
And so, Ana Maria, just to, you know, to finish with this exhibition, is there like will you be in Barcelona for an opening or something?
I am. You know, I live in Madrid, so I'm lucky enough to be a train ride away, a really easy one too. And actually, with the gallery, like I said, they're very tech-minded, but in a thoughtful way. It's not just about size or scale or, you know, fancy toys. So they're developing an API whereby I will be giving a live performance at the opening, which is this Thursday. And this live performance is going to emulate my original paperwork mechanism. So people will be able to write their word responses to my performance, any word that comes to their mind. And these responses will be live generating a new physical, a new digital sculpture, sorry. So there will be a live generation of a sculpture while I'm reading my work at the opening this Thursday.
When you say live, so it's live printing in a way?
At the screens. So it'll be feeding the algorithm. All the screens of the gallery will be taken over by this evolving sculpture that will be representing the collective emotional responses of the audience to my spoken word poetry. And it will be live at the gallery throughout the entire exhibition. If anybody visits Barcelona, they can listen to my poems. I've recorded them all on the galleries. It'll be played in the gallery, and they'll be able to submit their words and see how their contribution helps the sculpture evolve.
That's super. Wow, that's super exciting. Can't wait to see it. And you know, I'm watching now images also from the Lot Gallery, and yeah, it's a place to. The gallery itself also is really nice, and they are really creative in the way they are trying to exhibit art. So yeah, I really believe that. Yeah, I would love to go to Barcelona in the next few days to see the exhibition right now.
Come, Ben.
That's super nice. That's super nice. No, thank you. Thank you very much. So that's just actually, one news. We mentioned quickly the second news, but I actually, you even haven't mentioned that to me when we've been chatting. But this Lumen Prize finally it's huge, and especially the fact that you are nominated 3 times. So yeah, you know, just to understand, basically you've been doing classical application on the website, and then they're basically announcing you. They are not asking you more questions. You just discovered basically that you were finalist, like in the same time than everybody. How is it working?
Yeah, we all found out at the same time. I did get an email from the Lumen shortly before they announced. I think it was like an hour before, saying, we're really excited that this is a really special moment for Lumen. That you've been nominated 3 times, and I was really, really honored, really excited. And then the Lumen team actually are presenting a selection of finalists, John, this weekend at the V&A Museum in London, because they're
Wow.
having a digital design weekend. And, I think all these moments are really special because they're like foots in the door, right? And paperwork will actually be part of their curated exhibition
This
at
weekend? Wow,
the V&A this weekend. Yeah.
this is so
So
exciting.
they picked, I think, around 14 or 13 artists to show at the V&A.
This is okay. Wow, that's okay. This is amazing. And so yeah, you haven't mentioned that when I ask you to send me a few links, about news, but it is huge and crazy. And of course, the first topic we wanted to talk about is this. This wine signature label collection. So yeah, I just wanted to dig a bit more on this because it's happening right now on Maker's Place. As you mentioned, I think just to understand, you've been creating a collection of like what, almost 50 labels, something like this.
There were 48 labels available for sale. Several were created for the foundation for them to have and to gift to their sponsors. But there's only 48 available for sale. I believe only like 9 or 10 remain of my collection of the
Okay.
signature labels. And the minting actually closes on the 22nd, which is a Sunday. This was a commission that somebody ordered, so they'll be picking it up soon. I hand wrote a note for a friend named Rachel, who is a Twitter friend and wanted a bottle for herself. But what the collection does is that it leans into this theory of analog generativity, where interactions with humans create randomness. So of course, in the digital art space, we use the word generative very often, and it usually refers to code-based systems of rules. And here I'm creating a handwritten rules-based system where I transform the covers of my 6 books that I've published into labels of wine. And, when we were asked to be part of this, John and Remy, I was told that I had to sign each one of the labels. That was going to be part of it, hand sign the labels. And I really thought about what signing means to me. And what I most sign are my books that I've written. And I love signing my books because it's signing them to the future reader. It's a really special sort of moment for me. And it acknowledges how readers and writers construct each other, how we need each other. Without readers, us writers, our books are just closed pages. And so I took the signature page of the books, the first page where there's a little space for the
Yeah.
for
Oh,
the
thank you
for the author to write.
Yeah.
And so I made them dedications. And I received a lot of commissions. Actually, about half the collection was pre-sold to collectors who wanted commissions. So they wanted them dedicated to themselves. For example, one collector wanted the bottles for his parents' 50th wedding anniversary. So I wrote it, for X and X, happy anniversary from your son. I'm so happy to be part of this celebration. And the label, of course, goes on the physical bottle of wine. And then for the remaining labels, the ones that are not commissions, I left a space on the label so that the collector can add in information about when the wine is opened. So, for example, if you were to get a bottle, you can put for my sister, and let's say she's invited you to dinner, you can write it in, and this adds a layer of generativity to the final artwork, which I don't control, and that leans into randomness and collaboration and the infinite possibilities that, of course, generative art affords.
Wow, I see. Oh, that's super interesting, and I love this idea of because this is the thing, it's kind of the extra layer of creation, that is happening when you feel like the work is over when you're writing a book, but then and this is the thing, on the other hand, it's over. On the one way, it's over. On the other way, it's just the beginning of a story. And basically, this is what I see also into this work. You have kind of the story, but then you have everything that happened that is generated, in your imagination, but also in the interaction you have, with the writer. And I think it's it's super nice, to materialize it by this way. And so now for people who are interested in the collection, now you have predefined some other signatures, basically, that are already generated by yourself, and people can acquire the last remaining ones, right?
Exactly. They can acquire the last remaining ones, and if they wanted to intervene the physical wine bottle, the label, let's say, again, it's their son's birthday or graduation or any kind of special event, and they wanted to gift it, they can write it in, congratulations on X. And then they can also give them the digital label. And I think it can make for a really interesting sort of first NFT for somebody, right? Because here, for example, there's plenty of room to write for my son or for my sister, or even the date and time. If you want to just drink it yourself, you don't want to gift it, you want to drink it with a friend, you can write in the date. So some, for example, I put little prompts like opened, and that means, I'm inviting you there to put opened Paris, October 15th. And you can kind of memorialize the moment that the bottle was drunk. Of course, it won't appear on the digital version, but this is the dialogue, right, that we want to encourage.
And so to just technically to understand the process, so if I am interested, by a label, I will go on the Maker's Place website, just click on purchase, for example.
Yeah.
And so then, I can get first on Maker's Place. So I'm connecting my wallet, and it's an NFT. So I will have this NFT, the label of the NFT, basically, right? But then by owning the NFT, I believe I can go on the Maker's Place website to claim the bottle of wine and to get the delivery. Am I right?
Correct. And there is a little sheet with delivery costs. Shipping is extra. So there is a little sheet with what it costs to ship from the south of Spain, the bottels. And of course, there's really wonderful artworks in the collection. I mean, there's works by Ana Carreras, Iskra Velichkova, Finger Code, Chan from Bright Moments, Marcelo Zorrilla. So you could, for example, put together a case if you wanted. That's one idea. And you could have one from each artist. Ivona Tao, that's Ivona's contribution. Luke Highward. And again, these are all for a good cause. They're all going to, I think 90% of the proceeds go to charity. So
Okay, so it's on one hand we have the NFT, on the other hand we have the physical label that is created by one of the artists, and on top of it we can drink the wine, basically.
Exactly. Exactly.
Okay, nice. Okay, now that's super interesting. And just to understand, this Malaga Digital Art Day, because yeah, I heard that it was a success. So basically all these artists met together this day to what was the point of this Digital Art Day in Malaga?
So that's Masha Almasova. She is the director of the foundation, and we had an event, a one-day event at the Thyssen Museum. The Thyssen is one of the most important cultural institutions in Spain. It's like the Pompidou, I would think, in France. And they have a museum in Malaga, which is, I guess, like a Nice. It's like the sun coast of Spain, right? And so we had a one-day conference where we really just spoke about digital art. There were all different sorts of panels. We had the CTO from the MoMA. We had George Bach from Art Meta, and it was sold out. And the audience was really varied. And also it received a lot of local press, which is so important. Sometimes we think that the only important press or speakerphones are major media outlets, but sometimes these local journals are even more impactful. So I think it's a first, and hopefully more things are brewing. I've heard with the Thyssen that, of course, has a gorgeous museum in Madrid.
Wow, no, and this is actually quite related to what we've been talking about also with Ores Vetier, these traditional institutions are more, we call all of them traditionals, even if at the end of the day, many of them are super modern and contemporary, basically. But yeah, they are doing things. And I think you, Ana Maria, and maybe some other people, you have kind of other people in Spain right now, maybe like Operator or other that are kind of making things happening in Spain right now. I feel like you have kind of this Madrid crew that is moving things in Spain, right?
I have that feeling too. Madrid is going through a renaissance on many levels. It has a great quality of life, of course, within European standards, great weather, and not as expensive as other capitals. So I think lots of potential here, definitely.
No, that's super interesting. No, that's super nice. I don't know, Rem. Rem is quiet, but maybe you want to share also some thoughts.
No. I just wanted to say congratulations to Ana Maria for Lumen Prize and all this exhibition and collection. It seems like a momentum maybe for you in your career. And also I really read all of the articles about digital art, and your name often come in the article. So we are very lucky to welcome you today. And also last time we welcome you, you declaimed some verses of your composition, and I think to myself maybe it will be it was I remember it was a really great time when it happens. So maybe we could do the same today if you're okay.
Yeah, no, I love that. I love to read. I can definitely read a poem if you'd like.
Yeah, okay, that would be amazing. And thank you for suggesting this, Rem, because I think it's always super nice and interesting. And I loved also when I saw you doing your live performance at NFC last time. And, it's always
Perfect. Well, I'll read a poem I actually have never read out loud from my new book, Mammal.
Okay, awesome.
And I've never read this one out loud, I swear. So it'll be the first
Oh.
time. It's the last poem of the book, the closing poem.
Let's
So it
do it.
really sort of ties the bow in a way to the collection.
Awesome.
It's called Mine. Today is Saturday. I am writing alone in a hotel room on a Saturday night because my husband understands that solitude is a tender gift. Like now, there are moments I love him so much I cannot conceive him as mine. These moments occur when he insists I go far. From there, I see he remains my single tunnel across. Mine, mind, bind. Loyalty eventually rhymes with royalty. Duty to domain. It's not duty that sustains marriage, but the mental migration from curiosity to safe quarter. The replenishing wonder that a singular person can be mine. In the way that conjugal hums of habitual, systemic echoes prophecy. Ah, by constant interface of one with just one other, from the habitation of duality, you who emerges, carved gently, as if stroked by velvet tassels from the walls that confine each day. Not us, but I from you, a frieze in high relief. Time twined, mind. I love you and you love I, but only if by that loving I find that I love I.
Wow.
Wow.
Thank you
Thank
very
you very
much.
much.
You're very, very welcome.
Yeah, I was closing my eyes, during the poetry. I think it's yeah. First, the text is awesome, and the way you are reading it is also yeah. I think at the end of the day, when you read poetry, it makes a difference also, and that's yeah. It's a super affirmative and strong poem. Thank you for this, Ana Maria. And
Well,
I'm
you're very welcome. And I guess, in a way, that's what paperwork seeks to capture, that moment after you experience a poem and you write perhaps what it first comes to mind, to rescue that moment and to really firm it,
yeah.
capture it, exacto.
Capture it, when it's in
Yeah.
the air, yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, and it's always like a very special moment, when it's moving a state from like a, pretty deep and contemplative one, to coming back to a form of reality. And actually on top of it, I love, that, yeah, we're doing this right now in the morning, and especially now on video on LinkedIn with some people who are just, watching this and they, wow, what the fuck? And I love that, to have people listening poetry right now. And yeah, thank you very much for this, Ana Maria. It's a real pleasure, and it's super strong. So I believe, yeah, we are almost at the end of the show, but I just wanted to ask you, yeah, just, I'm pretty sure you're working on a lot of new things. Are there some stuff that we can expect from you coming in the next few months, or in 2025?
Well, I'm really looking forward to be in Paris. Actually, I will be for Paris Photo. I'll be going with the Office and Part booth to Paris Photo, of course, curated by the wonderful Nina Roers. I'll be sharing the booth with Jonas Lund, who is
Okay.
wonderful artist. I'm sure you all know his work. And I'll be bringing my series, being Borges, to Perry Photo in November. So that's something that I'm really looking forward to. It'll be my first time at Perry Photo.
Awesome. So yeah, and it's the same. Yeah, this is exactly what we've been talking about again.
Yeah.
Again, it's happening. And Paris Photo with the Nina Rowers curation last year, they made a big move from themselves and for our space, and now they are going ahead. So it means that it was just not a single one shot basically, and that's also super interesting. So can't wait to see it. For everybody, just summarizing I would say the news to make it simple. We've been with Ana Maria Caballero, and basically, you can find right now, we share the link on Maker's Place, Signature Label, available so on makersplace.com. Basically, even from the homepage you can see it, but /exhibition/signature-labels. And then it's still available until September 22nd. So to get your NFT, your artwork labeled bottles and wine, basically. So you can do it right now. And also for people going to Barcelona, yes, it's happening at the Lode Gallery from 20 September to 19th of October, Ana Maria Caballero and Orez Vetier for this digital but also physical exhibition that is happening, and where you can get also for the first time, some physical versions of the paperwork collection, so physical sculptures. And so basically you can also check the website, if you cannot go to Barcelona and are interested, by one of the pieces. So you can go on the website, lode-gallery.com. And just, one more congrats to you for being the first ever triple finalists of the Lumen Prize. And when are the results, basically?
The October 9th during Freeze in London. So yes.
So I believe you will be there, I believe.
I'm making plans to go. I really hope to be there for that. I think it'll be very special.
Yeah,
We'll see.
It will be amazing for sure. It will be
Yeah.
amazing. So now, whatever happened, it would be amazing. So congratulations for this. And so thank you, everybody. Just to share with all the NFT Morning people what's going to happen tomorrow. Tomorrow, we will still in video. As you can see now, it's our, all this week we are testing the video format, basically. And the idea would be tomorrow to just have just Remy and myself, and people who want to join, just send us a DM about the super question: are NFTs back? So basically,
again and again.
I think we're doing this. Every 6 months, basically, we are
10 times.
Like, are NFTs dead or are NFTs back? So this is kind of a traditional show that will happen tomorrow morning. I know you like it, and we'll be happy to debate with you about it.
I think they're back, right?
we have this feeling right now. We have this feeling that something is happening, and actually it's also related to some topic we've been mentioning in the show today, but it's happening in the art world. But we see also some stuff happening, in more general NFT world. So that's I've been mentioning Farrokh interview, but beside the joke, it's kind of a strong, something that I would not have expected to happen 6 months ago. And so it means that something is happening right now. And so we'll see tomorrow. It will be in French. Thank you again, Ana Maria. Have a great day.
Thank you.
Everybody, and good morning.
Good morning.
Happy. Good morning. Really happy.